I don't know if we're going to have a regame or not.
We won't. Starting at the bottom right of the map, we have in red the prime player. This is the Marine Prince. 2-0 in the group.
Maru Prime.
Maru is 2-0 in this group, and he is up against a Terran opponent. Starting to the top left of Belcher Vestige, also 2-0 in the group. Here we have
SK Telecom T1 Fantasy.
Sorry about that confusion at the beginning. It seems that the Korean observing client, that's like my PC, dropped out. But we have a double barracks coming out from not Fantasy this time, but Maru, in fact.
trying to give his opponent a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah.
I like it. But let's talk a little bit about the situation in the group. So currently we have Fantasy in a situation, if he wins this game, he is in Code S. If Maru wins the game, he's not in Code S yet, he could still end up in a three-way tie. But the game is not only important for the two players that are participating in the match, it's also important for Keen and for Hero. Because if Fantasy takes this game now, Hero will be in Code A. He won't be able to get one of those two spots. And the same is true for Keen if Fantasy takes the win. And now we have actually the reverse situation in this game of what we saw earlier when Fantasy was playing Keen. Maru is going for the double barracks opening, and Fantasy the one who starts with the command center first. This is actually funny as hell.
If I understand you correctly, this means Fantasy, if he loses, Keen is out?
If Fantasy loses, then Keen is out, yes.
That makes this extremely ironic for Keen. If Keen loses because he dies to a 2-Rax proxy, and then Fantasy also dies to a 2-Rax proxy.
He fooled him. He actually fooled him. The SCVs, they meet each other, but he doesn't realize that the SCV came from a weird angle, and he doesn't scout it. Oh my god. We have actually Maru waiting for Marine number 2 and number 3. Here comes the bunker. Oh wow, Fantasy is in so much trouble. Exactly the same situation he put Keen in when Fantasy played against
Keen is going to lose by one 2-Barracks proxy and by another 2-Barracks proxy that he didn't even defend. That his opponent, one of his other former opponents, killed him with. This is a really weird and ironic situation, but I just don't see Fantasy holding here without perfect micro, and so far Maru's micro is just better.
Keen is actually standing in the studio very close to Maru, even pulling his SCVs. He's taking out everything of Fantasy here. The bunker is not done just yet for Fantasy, and it won't be for a long time. There are too many Marines, too many SCVs.
GG! And Fantasy is denied his direct route into Code S. Maru turns things around, makes himself in a better spot, and Keen loses to a 2-Rax proxy, then loses in a situation where he needs his opponent to defend a 2-Rax proxy for him to have any chance of getting out.
Keen has no chance to advance to Code S today anymore, and Fantasy has to fight another day. Wow. That was a very, very weird game, and Fantasy is now looking at this and is like, well, I think that didn't work.
I guess that's probably what Keen felt like when I did it to him. That's probably what he's thinking right now.
That was... yeah, giving Fantasy a taste of his own medicine. I kind of like that. Very cheeky by Maru. Worked very well. Fantasy gambled with the command center first. Didn't work out.
Really nice little trick with his SCV to fool the scouting SCV as well. So that really helped out.
Yeah, that was well done. And we actually, I think we're heading into a 5-minute break now.
This is the information I was given earlier.
Okay.
We'll see if I am mistaken again.
Yeah, so
well, I was never mistaken, actually. I just told you guys what I was told.
Yeah, so we have the 6 games, and now we should head into another short break. When we come back, we will have the match between NST and Keen, which is, of course, still very important for NST. Keen, at least today, won't advance to Code S. And, well... so we're jumping into a short break, and as soon as we are back, we have another Terran versus Zerk, the GSL up and downs, Group C. See you guys in a few.